All right, so good morning, everyone. Yes, it is. When I say good morning,
Yep.
you say yes, it is. How are
Yes,
you
it is.
today?
Yes,
When I say
it
how are you
is.
today, you say I am
Yes,
fine.
it is.
All right, very good, Miranda, very good. So welcome to Zoom Mastery. This is the class. This is going to be about 2.5 hours, and we're going to master Zoom. Now, most of you have been using Zoom. You probably think you have it wired and mastered, but I'm hoping that you'll learn at least 5 new things today that you didn't know already. And all those 5 things will add to your success. So how many of you have used Zoom a lot lately, right? Right? All right. I've been using it since 1915 or 1915.
Wow!
Since 2015. Oh boy, I would be a miracle child if that was the case. 2015, when it first came out, and the way I got introduced to it is I was invited to speak at a digital symposium, a big tech thing. And the tech world, latched on to this kind of technology right away. Now, the founder, his name's Eric, he started with WebEx, the company that does WebEx, and he was frustrated because WebEx didn't have an easy user interface. So he created Zoom. And of course, Zoom has grown 67% in the last 4 months. Zoom users. I mean, it is, of course, exploding. He is totally blessed to be set up in a company where we need him more than anything right now, and to do our business and to continue our work. So you can thank him for that, for being in the right position, for listening to his own calling. All right, so what we're going to do over the next couple hours, I'm going to show you all the setup and explain exactly what it does and exactly what it means. And then we're going to go through the setup that you've seen on your screen and some of those nuances and fun things. And again, I'm hoping that you can learn at least 5 new things today that you can use to be more powerful on Zoom. All right, so we are going to jump right in. All right, and there she is, the doctor making her grand entrance. All right, hello, doctor. I'm going to check you off. All right, and hopefully the other few people will join us later. All right, so now this is something you can do with me or you can write it yourself. But I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go directly to Zoom. Wait, we have a few chats. Let me see. Okay. All right, so okay, good. All right, so Laura, you used GoToMeetings. I tried GoToMeetings years ago and it just wasn't the interface for me, but a lot of people still use it. I did give that a whirl until I found Zoom and it just better fit for me. All right, so I'm just
like in 2010, so
yeah,
it was really bad.
I tried it back then. As well. Thank you. All right. So I'm just going to quick mute everybody just so we have a clean line. But if you have a question, then, just raise your hand, wave, I'll see you. And then you unmute yourself. And then you can ask your question. I was just thinking, I want to just set a little groundwork. Again, you really need to have your video on if you want to participate. We want you to be with us. We are going to take a break in about 1 hour and 15 minutes. There will be 1 break that we'll take. And other than that, this, again, is a class for you. So I want you to get as much out of it as possible. So ask questions, participate. If something you don't understand, stop me and we'll explain it because there's probably somebody else that doesn't understand it as well. All right, so Catherine's logging out and logging back in. Yes, and if you have to leave for any reason, let's treat this like a real class, like we're together. What would you do if you have to leave a real class? You would just say, excuse me, I got to go take this call, or excuse me, I got to go, and take care of something. Because when you just disappear, it's really creepy, right? Anybody agree that when someone just drops, we're like, what's wrong? What happened? So if you do have to go for any reason on any of these classes, just do either just chat or you can unmute and say, look, I got, my kids, or my dog fell in the pool. I don't care, whatever it is. And of course, take care of business. All right, enough said. Let's get started. So I'm going to share my screen. Hey, Dale, how are you? Good morning.
I'm sorry I'm late. Thank you.
It's okay. We're just getting started. So I'm going to share my screen. Now you can do the same thing. In other words, you can you're not Xing out for sure. You're just changing your screen. But if possible, what I'd like you all to do now, I'm going to do it, and then you can do it too. And you can follow along with me. And that is go to your web browser, Chrome or whatever it is, and type in zoom.us. All right, that's how you want to get to the setup, zoom.us. And you should see a screen similar to mine. Okay, somebody's moving around, so if you're not muted, if you'll mute yourself, that'd be awesome. I got out of my screen where I can mute everyone. Perfect. All right, so everybody see my screen? Raise your hand, yes? Okay, good. Now, so you want to go there too. You can either take notes, handwrite them, or go directly to your Zoom, by just minimizing the screen and go directly to your Zoom. All right. So I'm just going to quick sign in. Actually, I'm going to go to another web browser because my other one has it by memory. Let me move you all up so I can see. So I'm going to go to my Firefox. Oh, and I'm already in there, but let me get out because I want to show you exactly how, and most of you know this, like I say, I just want to teach you 5 new things that maybe you didn't know, and that would be worth every bit of this. Okay, so let me go to Zoom. Everybody do this. So go to zoom.us and go into your account. All right, you might have to move your camera a little bit. So I'm just going to go into my account. And this is gold. Now, what comes up, of course, is your profile. Now, this is the name that comes up. You can edit all of this, right? This is not magic. Your picture, all right? So you can edit it. So if you wanted to edit it and have something come after your last name, always, without doing it in the room, you could do it here. But here's what I want to show you that is fascinating, all right? And that is this, and this is when most people don't know. You can, 2 things here. One, you can change your ID to be your telephone number or any other group of numbers. This happens to be the number assigned by Zoom for me, but you can change it. I don't change it because I've got it out in the world there, right? This little button here, use personal meeting ID for instant meetings. You're all on an instant meeting. What's the difference? What's an instant meeting? Instant meeting means you just sent somebody your link. You did not pre-schedule it. You did not pre-schedule it. All right, that's an instant meeting. All right, so see this big old number right here? All you need, you could take out the period and the US, right? This is all you need. And when you get those big gobbledygook numbers, you get them from scheduling a meeting. You don't need all that goes after your meeting ID. Got it? This is gold right here. Arlene, did you have a question? I can't hear you. You're muted, honey. I'll unmute. No, I can't unmute you. You have to unmute yourself. If I've muted you, I can unmute you. If I haven't muted you, then you have to unmute yourself. There we go.
I'm still having trouble getting on Zoom because I tried to go through Chrome instead of Safari. And I guess it didn't have my password. And so I'm still trying to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to hold everybody up, I think.
Maybe it's better for you just to listen and take notes than do that. But are you on a computer right now or are you on your phone?
I'm on a computer.
Okay. You can do it on your own computer, right? Just by getting out a full screen. So that's what I'm recommending, only because the phone app is different. It does have some different nuances to it. Okay. So just know, does everybody get that you don't need all this and you don't need that gobbledygook that comes after it when you schedule a meeting? You got it?
RV, what are we deleting? We're deleting from the...
You're not deleting it from here, all right?
Oh.
what I'm saying is I just keep this, but see, when I send this to somebody, right? Like I'm copying my link, let's just say, whoops, copy my link. Okay, and I'm sending it to somebody. Let's say I'm sending it to somebody in an email, right? Let's say I'm doing a new email and I'm sending it to somebody, right? I don't need all that gobbledygook. I can just take it out. If y'all look at your code, this is the code that you got, right? When you schedule a meeting, you're going to get X, Y, Z, X, whatever after that meeting. You don't need it. The only time you would need it is if you have a password that's embedded in it.
I have a question. Are you screen sharing so I can follow? Because I can't get on I can get on my Zoom, but I can't get where you're talking about.
Okay, I am screen sharing.
All right, hold on. I've got to go back to you then.
Okay, yeah, go back to us.
Harvey, super quick. Do you use your phone number? Because this is
No.
Margie. I heard somebody said you could just put your phone number in. That's your personal ID. Do you do that?
Yes, you can. So I just showed you that a second ago. It's right here, right? So you go over here into edit, and I could type that in and put my personal number there. Now, you have to think about it though. Do you want the world to have your personal number? I don't know how far you're going to invite people. So that's one thing to consider. And I did change it to personal number only because so many of my clients have my ID. Now, when I do something public, like when I do a webinar or I do a meeting that isn't with my clients and mastermind people, I will schedule it. When you schedule it, you can use a different ID. You've got a choice. And we're going to go over all of that. All right. So the only advantage of putting your own phone number here is so you can remember it easy when someone says, "What's your ID?" Right? But you don't have to. It's up to you. All right. Everybody clear on that? And of course, there's nothing else here. Pretty straightforward. What time or zone are you in? That kind of thing. But the real magic. So I just wanted to show you that because no one knows that. And I could tell because they send me this big old long thing. Or they make it a bit.ly, and you don't have to. All you have to do is send them your ID. All right. So we're going to scoot down to the settings. Everybody's here with the settings? Everybody see the settings? This is where the real magic happens. And so we're going to go through this. Now, mine's been set up, the way I want it. So yours may or may not be. So just, review it with me. All right. So first thing, this is a new feature. It's only been here since COVID, about 4 months, 4 or maybe 5 months. And that's waiting rooms. And this is what I was talking about during my speech when I was talking about as a speaker, you want to be requested to wait into the waiting room. That way people won't see you, especially if you're a celebrity speaker, right? So waiting rooms are good for that. You can put everyone in a waiting room if you want to just kind of get yourself ready. And GoToWebinar is really good at this, where it kind of puts everybody in a holding pattern until you start the webinar. Well, same with Zoom, but you can make sure you're ready before you bring everybody in. But it's kind of like a little hassle too. And when you're in the waiting room, it's a weird feeling.
Let me turn off my.
Okay, I guess I forgot, it's Bernie Dorman's funeral this morning. And so some of our people are there. All right, so waiting room. Now, if you turn this on, if you click this button, it will go to blue. That means it's on. You want to make sure that that's off. You can put people in the waiting room without this being on. These are the defaults. That means every single meeting you had, people would be in the waiting room, even in an instant meeting like this one. So I would have to go to that other extra trouble to accept. So I want you to see what it's like being in the waiting room. Who's not been in a waiting room before? Okay, so Margie, I'm going to put you in the waiting room. Now, you're not going to see, as a guest in this room, the options. when you're the host, you get extra options. And the options are right next to right up here, right? And it's the 3 dots. So when you're the host, you're going to see unmute, stop video. In other words, I can stop your video, or my video, excuse me. I can rename myself. I can pin my video, etc. And we're going to go over what all of those are. But I'm going to put Margie in the waiting room. Boom, she's gone, right? Just like that. And then we're going to ask her, what does it feel like coming back into the waiting room? All right, so let's go and get Margie back. And for me, it just has her name and says admit. All right, so now we're going to admit her. So she's joining. It takes a couple of seconds before there. She should be back with us. Margie, are you back with us? How was that? Unmute yourself and tell us what that was like being in the waiting room.
I was sad. I didn't want to be in the waiting room all by myself.
I know, it's kind of a lonely kind of feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the options. So you leave that off. Excuse me. Otherwise, every single room would be, everybody would have to wait. And of course, down here, there's some options too. If it was turned on, you could do some customizing and some edit options. All right. So everyone, and these are usually for corporate accounts, users not in your account. So you really don't have to worry about it. Mostly for us, it's either on or it's off. And again, I leave it off because if there's somebody I want to put in a waiting room, like a speaker, and it works really well, ladies and gentlemen, for when you're interviewing somebody, because we've all been on Zooms and we've seen that person. And what happens, Lori? That person is going, do, 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 waiting for you to introduce them. And everybody knows they wrote the introduction, right? And it just really feels weird. So if you're interviewing somebody, it's really great to put them in the waiting room.
It's like not knowing what to do with your hands when you're standing in front of a room.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the next one is require a passcode when scheduling a meeting. This is, if you have that on, that's where you're going to get that really huge, ugly, scary link that all you need to do is shorten it. Unless you have an embedded passcode, you can shorten it and then give people the passcode. I turn this off. This came about, this is a new feature that came April 5th of this year with COVID, of course, April 5th, and it was mandatory. Everybody had to be on a password. Everybody. Well, that lasted about a New York minute because people were upset that they, couldn't get in, that, corporate accounts and all that, they were upset. So they changed it back to an option. Okay, hold on. Somebody's texting me. Okay, in email. Okay, so I'm going to send the link. Everybody got the email. So I'm going to send my meeting ID. All right, let me go to my profile. So someone wants it that's coming in. So let me go and put it in. All right. When you put it in the phone, of course, it does become a live link. And remember, I don't need all that gobbledygook. I just need the zoom.us/J. Sorry about that. This is Linda Kane, who was the support at Daniela's event. I went to high school with her. I've known her for years. 6-0. Okay, there we go. All right, done. Okay, now let's go back to settings. I didn't want to throw you off, so go back to settings. Okay, now, real important. This should be off. Otherwise, you're going to drive people crazy. It's your choice, but I choose to have it off for all my meetings. Now, why do people have passwords? Big corporate accounts and schools get trolls that come in, right? They get those people that come in and wreak havoc. Don't worry. There's a way you can remove them. When you're the host, you go up to those 3 little dots in the corner of their screen, and they'll probably be blacked out. And then you just remove. It's easy. It takes 1 second. So don't worry. You don't have to have them in and endure that and have to have everybody endure passcodes. So, all right. Now, require passcodes for instant meeting. Remember, instant meetings are meetings that are not pre-scheduled. This is an instant meeting. I didn't have to go to the trouble to schedule this for this certain time. You don't have to do that. Everybody thinks you have to schedule meetings. No, only if you want to do webinars and send something out, and only if you want people to log in. All right. So I didn't need you to log in because I knew who was coming, and I made my own little sheet from Infusionsoft, right? So I didn't need you to log in. But when I do a webinar, I'm going to need people to log in so I know who's coming, so they can get automatic reminders. That's the other benefit of scheduling a meeting. People will get automatic reminders. But again, you've got to send them a link, they've got to register, and then they will get reminders. But instant meetings, you don't need all that. You just send somebody, hey, do you want to get on a quick call? Boom, send the link, and you're done. Personal meetings, again, they're just scheduled meetings, right? All right, so now I have all that off because I don't want to be bothered with the cumbersomeness of passcodes, passwords. Same with webinars, right? I don't want to be bothered with all that. All right. Okay, somebody's coming in. Okay, so Benita came in. Good. Hi, Benita. All right, let's see. Is anybody else coming in? Okay. All right, great. Okay, so everybody's, you're clear about why you should, why I don't use passwords, right? Everybody clear? And it's your personal choice, but a lot of times when you get a Zoom account, it defaults on. So, and it's a pain in the butt. Because again, it's only there for those trolls, for those big accounts. People like you and me, I've only seen one come in one time, and it was a networking event. And, you know, we got rid of them, and that was it. All right. Okay, so don't worry about authenticate. Authenticate, again, that will be turned on if you're using passwords. Now, this is a nice one, schedule meeting, okay? This is when you schedule meetings. Host video is on, participants video is on when they enter the room. Now, we have it on, but just remember, as individuals, you have full control of your horizontal. You have full control of your audio. You have full control of your video. So even though I might say, yes, I request it on, you could turn it off. What happens is, did all of you see that little screen as you came into this room and said video on or off? That's what this does. If this is off, you won't get asked that. All right? So that's why that comes up for this meeting room, and maybe it doesn't come up for some of your other meeting rooms. All right? Got it? All right, let's see who just joined us. Hey, Linda just joined us. Or Linda's trying to join us. Hi, Linda.
Hey, hi.
Hi, how was the funeral?
It starts at, it officially starts at 12 o'clock.
Oh, 12 o'clock our time?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Can you in an email shoot me the link to that?
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now.
Perfect, thank you. All right, perfect. All right, so I'll be a little late because we're going to go till probably 12:30. Yes, Sherry.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, thanks.
Thanks. Yes,
I'll
Sherry.
listen in here. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
Excited.
So do you recommend having the video on for the host and the participants then?
Yes. Yes. Because all it does is give you that extra little square box for the participant to say yes or no. They still have complete control. Right?
So even when you have it toggled on, they still can.
Yep. Say
Okay,
no.
perfect.
Yeah. They can say no. All right. Perfect. All right. So then, this is a default. You could just leave that there, audio type, phone number and computer. Now this one is interesting. Some people like this, and I don't, but join before host. So if you're hosting a networking meeting and you want people to be able to come into the room without you even being there, you can let that happen and they can talk to each other. So, that's up to you. I like it to be off because I do run networking meetings, but I want it to be off so that the meeting starts, on time or when I'm there, whatever. But that is a nice little feature that if you're running late, you can have people join. Again, these are defaults. All right. Otherwise, you see that host has not started the meeting yet. All right. Enable personal meeting ID. All right. You want to make sure, again, you enable that. That should be on so that you can use your personal ID. And you can see there that it says, what it is, a 9 to 11 digit number that's assigned to your account. All right. Okay. So turn that on because whenever possible, use it. Otherwise, every time you schedule a meeting, it could be coming up with a brand new number and you may not want that. Use personal ID for scheduling meetings. Bingo, right? I turn that on because I don't want to use a different number every single time. I want to use my own personal ID all of the time. Same with my instant meetings. So these 3 being on is going to use that number that you saw in your profile. Now, webinars are going to be different. This is for meetings, right? Okay, so let me stop share for a minute. How many of you know the difference between a webinar, Zoom webinar, and a Zoom? Okay, Christine, what are some of the what are some of the differences?
A meeting like this is a meeting because everybody can see one another and have the interaction. If you do the webinar, you don't get that. You're seeing the presentation. To me, those are the big differences.
Right. You're absolutely right. You're seeing the presentation, the PowerPoint, but you also get to see the host in the little corner of the screen. Now, the benefit of doing webinar against a meeting is, number one, less distractions, because guess what? Everybody comes in a webinar automatically muted, and you can't unmute yourself. If you wanted to speak to me in a webinar, I would have to make you a panelist, and then you could come in, right? The other big difference is, see how you can see the participants down below, the number of participants? And so there's 18 here. A webinar, you cannot see that. Only the host can see that. So if you were doing a webinar and maybe you thought you'd have 100 people and maybe you had an embarrassing 5, you may not want everybody to see that you only had 5 people there. So again, less distraction with a webinar, less interaction, of course, but less distraction, and other people cannot talk to each other either. That's the third difference. There's everything is more private, all right, between you and the host. Now, you can change that to where everybody can see it, or it's just panelists and things like that, but automatically it's not private. All right. So those are some differences. Sometimes it makes a difference, and sometimes you're going to want a webinar, sometimes you're going to want a meeting. It all depends on what it is you're trying to accomplish. All right, so let's go back. Yes.
Question. On the webinar, you said the hosts cannot unmute, or I missed the piece there. What's different with the mute and unmute with the host on the webinar versus the meeting?
Everybody's automatically muted in a webinar. Okay. All right. And you can't unmute yourself.
You can't unmute yourself. That was it.
No,
okay.
No, you can't. I would have to make you a panelist or allow you to talk. So you could raise your hand in the little boxes that you see, the little icons, but I couldn't see you if you raised your hand like this, because I don't get a gallery view. Okay. And we don't get a gallery view of each other either. So, all right. Excellent.
RV, when I click on the PM, I use personal ID. It says I require a passcode for instant meetings.
Right. So you might want to go into your settings and turn that off. Did you see the settings where it was? Let me go back to screen share. All right. So see all this password up here? It's because you have one of these passwords turned on. All right.
Oh,
see?
okay.
All this is password stuff, password, instant meeting. You probably have this turned on. So it's requiring a password. See how mine are all turned gray? That means all the passwords are off for everything. Private meetings, okay, or personal meetings and instant meetings. So go to your settings and change that. Yeah. Yeah, otherwise, like I said, it makes it more difficult for your people to come in.
Oh, it won't let me turn it off. It's probably because I'm free, right?
Probably because, oh, maybe because you're free. Yeah, if
Okay.
you're free, yeah, probably.
Okay.
Okay, but again, it's only $15 a month. It's well worth it. Yes, Abigail.
Okay.
Just unmute yourself.
Sorry, I'm looking at my settings and the embed passcode and invite, do you use that or no?
Well, I don't because I have passcodes turned off.
Right, okay. So require passcode, so I can just turn it all off. All right,
Turn it all off. Absolutely.
yeah,
That'll make your event a lot easier. Now, you'll schedule your event. You'll schedule those 3 days. All right. And you will get different codes. So let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. These 3 days are my $1 million. I scheduled a $1 million meet and greet and then 3 days of $1 million. So because I made this one reoccurring, and that's what you're going to do when you set it up, Abigail, you will get the same passcode. Now, I didn't want to use my personal ID because it's up here, right? Too many people know it. I have a meeting every week and everybody knows it. So I didn't want someone sneaking in, right? So I scheduled, but I did reoccurring, and that gives you the same code because you don't want a different code for every day of your event. People will go crazy.
Right.
Even if you use a hub, right? Like Daniela did, which says main room, you still don't want some web person having to change that every day. And then,
Right.
But then I want my meet and greet different, right?
Right,
I
okay.
could make it the same. I could delete it and make it the same. But then,
Because you're doing it different because it's the one part of the event and it's only for a certain population.
well, no, the actually meet and greet is for everybody. I
Okay.
probably put that up afterwards. But my
Oh, gotcha.
VIP, which all of you are part of the VIP, I'm the gala, which is going to be on Thursday night, that will be separate. And then that'll be a separate code because that is extra. But it'll be the same code for all the lunches. I have VIP lunches and a VIP red carpet. So I haven't set it up yet, right? I'm still working on what I'm doing, right? And this is just a webinar that I have coming up. All right. So, and I'm doing it as a meeting instead of a webinar. Otherwise, it would be scheduled under a webinar. So I'm doing it for the first time as a meeting. I always do webinars. So it's going to be interesting. All right. So that's a little bit about that. Let's go back to the settings. All right. So that's how you get around having to use passcodes, Abigail, and creating your event for 3 days. All right. And I know Linda's on the line. And Linda, if you have anything to add at any time, you jump in. Okay, now here, mute participants upon entry. Again, you can mute them right here. In a webinar, they're automatically muted, but in a meeting, you can mute them when they come in if you have a lot of people. Now, I have a networking meeting that I do every single Tuesday. It's a Christian networking event. All of you are welcome if you want to go. Just put it in the chat. You want the link. But every single Tuesday. So I want my people to come in and be able to talk and say, hi, how you doing? That kind of thing, all right? So when I go to do my $1 million, however, I'll probably change this to mute them upon entry because I won't want everybody coming in making a bunch of noise. Because the problem with leaving it off is people will come in, but they forget to mute, right? They say hi, and then mute, that's fine. But a lot of people just start making a bunch of noise. So that's something for you to consider. Again, for my event, Abigail, I would turn it off. But because I run a weekly meeting, I leave it on. Does that make sense? Okay. Upcoming meeting reminders. Now, this is up to you. I don't need someone to remind me when I have a meeting. But if you want a reminder, it's sent to you, then, a desktop reminder, then fine. I don't want to be bothered. I'm tired of all those notifications and dings and stuff. All right, so here's basic meeting. Don't worry about anything that's encrypted. That's usually set by the system. But this is really important, all right, the chat. Now, you noticed on Daniela's event that people could privately chat and they could chat in the chat box. Now for my events, I have that off, all right? The private chat down here. Because to me, in my networking event, it's set up primarily for my networking event, I don't want people to be turned into the person next to them and talking, because that's what it's like when people do private chats, because they're not paying attention to what's going on. Also in my meetings, I make sure people don't chat when it's time to introduce yourself. You know, those 30 seconds that you get. Well, it's rude to put anything in the chat box when someone's introducing themselves. That means you're not listening. So there's certain things that I do for my meetings that this is why this is set up. But you could turn this off altogether if you didn't want anybody to chat at all. And I've seen events like that. I was at a 3-day event that's exactly what they did when the whole event started, is they turned this off and you couldn't do chats. So that's entirely up to you, but it is in the settings. You can't do it on the desktop. Somebody has to come back to your settings and turn this off and on. All right? And you can even prevent people from saving the chat if you wanted to. I don't, because that frustrates people. You know, that frustrates. And let's see, we have a few chats here. Let me get to I can't get to my chat screen. Okay. All right, hold on. Hold on just a second. All right, so if you don't have your chat screen up, you always have to go to participants first, then you can see the chat. Okay, great. All right, so I will put, okay, so for my meeting, my meeting is on, I'll just put it in here real quick, Tuesdays at 8 a.m. Pacific time. All right, 8 a.m. Pacific time. And it's the same link that you're using here. Okay. All right. Okay, so Arlene, you have a question? Yeah, because I only get to see a strip of you, so go ahead and unmute yourself. If ever you have a question, just holler. Okay, Arlene, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, so you had said about the chat, you can turn it off during certain times. How do you do that? I don't see where you can turn it off, like if someone's giving an introduction or presentation. How do you do that?
Well, you have to do it here in your settings right here. All right. Allow meeting participants to send a visible chats to all participants. I can turn this off, right?
Okay. So you have to go back and play with it, turn it off, and then turn it back on?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you're in the middle of a meeting, then, you know, it's kind of hard to do that. It's one thing you don't get to do on the dashboard. You have to do it back here. Mm-hmm. Or just keep it off altogether and don't let them do it at all before you start a meeting. That's another thing. And just tell people, look, we're just turning off chats right now. We want you to be present and talk. You know, but I use chats a lot for engaging my people and keeping them engaged. All right. But yes, you can. All this stuff you can turn off and on. Nothing is permanent forever, you know, so you can turn it off and on. All right. So allow saving chats. Again, you can turn that off and on. In my networking meeting, I want people to be able to save people's addresses and phone numbers and email addresses. Okay. Auto saving chat, that's for you as a host, because you don't want to have to remember to save the chat. Now, when you're doing chats, remember this. The chat is only the chat from when you entered the room. All right? So if you came in late, like halfway through a meeting, then all the chats that went on before you are not going to be saved. Is that clear? The chat only starts, even though the meeting started 30 minutes ahead of you, the chat is only for when you join. Once you join, then whatever anybody says after that, you get to save. Is that clear? Right? Just so you know. It only, you know, it's not like I can be late and then, you know, get all the information. No. Okay. Now, sounds. Now, this is very, very important. Okay, this is very, very important. Host and co-host only, because otherwise everyone will hear people come in. And if you have a large meeting, it's going to go ding, 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 and drive everybody cuckoo. So I just have it for me. Now, I had this off altogether one time, right? I turned this off, and then I'd be sitting here waiting for somebody, and they would come in, like, you know, for my private coaching and things. They would come in, and I would be like doing my email or multitasking, and all of a sudden they would go, "Hi, Arvi," and I would just like go out of my chair. So I decided I needed the ping, you know, but it's entirely up to you. You can totally turn the pings off. What we can't do is change the ping sound, which really maybe it'll come in the future, but we can't do that. Okay. And then you have some things by phone too. You know, when someone joins by phone, asked to record their voice as a notification, that's getting them permission when you're recording, but I don't care about that. All right, file transfer. Now this is something that's really, really fun, and I'm going to show you. And you want to have this on if you want to do this, because you can actually transfer files. So let me see. I can't show you, but I can show you by stopping the share and actually getting to my computer. Okay, so I'm going to go into the chat box, and I am going to send a file. All I do is hit the word file, and it comes up Dropbox, Google Drive, or your computer. So I'm going to go to my computer, and I'm going to pick something for all of you. All right. I'm going to pick something that's of value. I have to inquire here. Hold on. Let me get it. You just get a little tiny box, which is a bummer. All right. Hold on. It's really worth waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. It's just I don't get much of a screen here, and so I don't even get an inquiry. That's a bummer. So it's best probably to have what you're going to send ready to go, because I wasn't going to actually show you, but let me, because I can't inquire. You guys got that? You can't, there's no inquiry button in here. Okay, well, I really can't find anything to send right now. I really can't find anything to send you that's like a real short and dirty thing. But anyway, I'll find something at the break and send it to you. But you can send it there, and it goes to all of you just like the chat would, and you can download it. It's really, really cool. I can send it to one participant or everybody. All right, let me go back to screen share. And like I said, I'll get that file and show you before we end. All right, so coming back down here, and again, where this setup is the magic of everything that happens. Have some of you learned at least one thing already? Hands up, at least one thing, good. All right, so file transfer you want on. Feedback to Zoom, that's a default that's on. It's up to you if you want feedback to Zoom or not. Display end of meeting experience survey. Now that's up to you too. I also am a trainer for SCORE, Orange County. And at the end of every single training that I do, webinar, all the participants are automatically sent a survey asking, you know, certain questions that they have set up. That's entirely up to you. I don't send surveys out. You know, after my trainings, I don't do that, but that is available for you. Co-host, allow other people to be co-hosts in a meeting. You want this if you're doing a meeting, you know, that's a pretty big size meeting. Like Linda was the co-host for Daniela. And there was a couple of co-hosts, all of her friends and things. So you want to have that on, because you never know if you need a co-pilot or not. And you never know if you have to let someone screen share if you've turned off the automatic screen share. And when we get to that, in a minute, I'll share that with you. So you can make everybody in the room a co-pilot if you wanted to, but there can only be one host and multiple co-hosts. All right. Polling, again, that is something that I have off. It's something that you can have on. That's what, the contests and stuff like that Daniela did with all the, the people, but I don't use that. That's up to you. Always show meeting control bar. This is so important. Ladies and gentlemen, turn this on. Turn this on and keep it on. Otherwise, when you're in a meeting, that control bar disappears and you have to hover over the bottom of your screen to get it back. So turn that on. That'll be a lifesaver. Do you see that, Lawrence? It says, always show meeting control bar. Turn that on. Turn that on. Very important. And then show Zoom windows during screen share. Yes. Now that when you do a screen share, you'll see different windows. It's hard to explain, but first time you see a screen share, you'll see them. And we'll do a screen share before we end today. Screen sharing, I have this turned on, but this is what's different for me than a lot of people. I have host only. If you wanted a screen share, if you had something you wanted to screen share, I would have to make you a co-host for you to screen share. Now, why have I done this? Because in the beginning I didn't, and I had somebody in my networking group just all of a sudden take control, turn it around to his website and start promoting himself, So I said, okay, we better put some more control. And they do it so fast, you don't even know what's going on. All right, so Arlene has her hand up. Arlene, let me find you and go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, going back to the co-host, if you turn it on, then how do you select who's going to be your co-host?
Okay, good question, Arlene. You go to the little box, their box. There's two ways to do it. Go to their box and those three little magic dots. You can click right there. So in other words, I just made you a co-host.
Okay.
Right? So now you can mute people, you can share your screen, that kind of thing. And, so you have this almost the same exact control I have.
Okay.
Other way to do it is to go to the participants. Mine's at the top now, but yours might be at the bottom. Go to the participants, click on that. You see each individual's name. You can click on the more button and make them co-host, host, withdraw permissions, all kinds of things. All right. So in the box, 3 dots or on their name, but it's a lot easier if I just click on your box and your face.
Okay, so I just went to someone's box and clicked on the 3 dots. I don't see anything that says co-host.
Well, you won't because you are a co-host.
Okay, so only the host will see it.
Well, yeah. Now, co-host can do I said almost everything that I can do, right? Because I didn't make you a host, so you can't do everything. So you can't make people a co-host if you're a co-host. Got it? But you can mute them. So, for instance, mute Dr. Liddy. Mute. Yeah, Dr. Liddy, stay there and let Arlene. Okay, so Arlene, you just muted her. Okay, now unmute her. Okay, so yay. So in the muting, remember, if a person mutes themselves, all right, so Dr. Lindy, mute yourself. Okay, now Arlene tried to unmute her. You can't do it.
I have to ask, it says ask.
You only can unmute, right. You can only unmute people that you've muted as a host or co-host.
Okay.
See, we still have complete control over ourselves in this room. Mm-hmm. Same with the video. So there's somebody without a video. Arlene, I want you to go to Martha and try to go to the dots and try to ask her to start her video. It says ask to start video. But okay. See, you can ask and she'll get an ask, but we can't turn it on.
Okay.
That's the beauty. It's good and bad. It's good for us as individuals because nobody can make us expose ourselves or talk or anything. Mm-hmm. We can only ask. All right?
Okay.
Okay. So very good. Good job. Good job, Arlene.
Thank you.
All right. So let's go back down. I'm going to click off my participants for now. If anybody else has a question, Let's see. Let me go back to participants, just because I'm trying to keep my screen clean. Okay. All right. Good. Oh. Okay. Okay. All right. So there's some chats in the chat box. If some of you want to read them, that's cool. All right. But nothing of question. Okay. So I got to get rid of it so I can see my screen. All right, so screen sharing. Now we're going to go to screen sharing. So always have your toolbar on. Always, you want sharing, but again, I say host only, so no one will hijack my meeting, right? Because that's what it was like. They hijacked it, but that's again entirely up to you. But you do have that added, like during my mastermind calls and my coaching calls, when they want to share the screen, I do have to give them permission, and that's kind of sometimes a pain in the butt too. All right. So who can start screen sharing with someone else? Okay, I have that grayed out because of host only. If I said all participants, this would be open, and then you could, let anybody start the sharing. Okay,
Hey,
or
RV, I'm sorry. Can you, if you have that toggled off, that they cannot share their screen, can you give them the permission during the meeting?
if you have host only, yes. Just like I
Okay.
did for Arlene by making her a co-host.
She can share the screen
Yes. So
as a co-host. Okay.
whoever you want to share the screen during that meeting, you've got to go to the little dots or their name, but it's faster to go to the dots in the upper right-hand corner of their screen and make them a co-host. And then you
Okay.
can always take it off a co-host as well.
Perfect.
Okay. All right.
Harvey, it's Christine. I've already within a meeting enabled screen share for other people on the screen share button. As the host, I was able to allow screen share for other people.
Without making them a co-host?
Yeah. Yeah, go to your screen share button, see if something pops up that you can allow somebody else.
Oh, got it. Okay, so you can do, okay, so I'm on, no, it's probably my settings, but no, you are screen sharing. Where do you want me to go?
When you go to the screen share button at the bottom, the green button, as a host, there should be an option to allow others to screen share while you're live.
I don't have that option.
You don't?
No. Let me stop the share and see if I have that option now. Okay, yes, you do have an option, but here's what it is. One participant can share at a time, multiple participants can share simultaneously, or you have advanced sharing options. And the advanced sharing option says how many participants can share at one time, one or multiple, who can share, only hosts or participants. So it's an all or nothing thing. Do you understand? So, Christine, I don't know what yours says, but it's an all or nothing. It's either only host, and then I make people co-host, or I say all participants. So let me just go all participants right now, right? So, okay, so now it's all participants. So Evelyn, why don't you screen share? Okay, screen share is your green button at the bottom. Okay, let's go to Miranda. Miranda, screen share. I just want to demonstrate that all of you can screen share. Miranda, screen share. Benita, screen share. Abigail, screen share. Sherry, screen share. So all of you go ahead and start screen sharing. Okay, very good. Somebody else screen share.
You can't screen share when somebody else is.
Only because I have that off. Okay, only because I have that off. So I'll stop that. All right, but that's the thing with the screen share. Very good. You can say that multiple people can screen share, but I have that off. Okay. All right, Christine, you got that? Yeah. Okay, so it's all in the settings. It's all what you want to do. but you're right. On my system, I have that off. So I'm going to stop the screen share. And then I'm going to go back down to screen share and advanced options. And I'm just going to say only host. And then again, the other option, remember, is multiple participants can share simultaneously. I didn't click that on. All right. So you as a host have complete control. So for me and my meetings, it's a lot easier for me just do it individually by making somebody a co-host. Okay. Very good. Very good question. Thank you for that insight, Christine. All right. Let's go to screen share again. We're almost done with this panel. We're halfway through. All right. All right. So disable desktop screen share from users. I have that disabled. Okay. All right. So that's why we can't do that as well. Okay. Now we're going to go to this fun little thing. So this, you can turn this off or turn it on. I have not really seen too many people use it, but what it is it's a way to, make some doodles. All right. You can make doodles, or you can do texting. You can do a stamp. Right? I can do hearts all around the screen. All right. I could do stars. Right? So, maybe, certain groups of people that you're working with, you might want to use that. I have it turned on just in case. But again, allow saving of shared screens. Yes, only the user who shared can do this. Right? It's up to you, but I have mine both on. It's just a little fun thing. So
How do you use it once you're on?
Right.
What?
How do you actually use that feature once you're screen sharing?
How do you make the stars and the hearts?
Okay,
where'd they
at
come
the
from?
very top, and there's a little pencil when you're the host. You might not see it. Let me see. Do I have allow saving? You should be able to see it. Is it down at the
RB, it's Linda.
Yeah, Linda, where is it?
Yeah, they have to, in their Zoom account, they have to allow for anecdotes. They have to check anecdotes. And they have to make it green so that the anecdotes are on.
Right.
And then there'll be a little bar at the top of the screen there, and it'll give them the tools.
Okay, so it's not, so thank you, Linda. So it's not just because I have it on my system. You've got to have it turned on your system to be able to use it. So thank you, Linda, for that insight. I've had it off for the longest time. I just kind of turned it on, been playing with it. So Sherry, why don't you turn yours on in your setup of Zoom? Then you should get it an extra choice. Mine happens to be, right after the screen share. Let me see what it's like when I say stop screen share. Okay, so yeah, you don't see it when you're not sharing your screen.
Yeah, all I have is reactions.
Okay, so share your screen. Let me give you permission, and you'll share your screen. Hold on just a second.
I went too fast.
Okay, so share your screen. Then and if yours is turned on, then you'll see it once you share. Okay, perfect.
Oh,
all right.
Yeah, I see it.
Yay. So give us some stamps or some drawings. Yay.
I don't know where the stamps are, but that would just take.
says
Oh,
stamp.
I see it. Aw, yay. Oh, that's cool. That would be really helpful, especially with the drawing.
And you could do text and all kinds of stuff. So you might want to start with like a Word document that's blank, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, you can, if you have everybody being able to share, you can turn this on for everybody. And if you do multiple sharing, then you can turn that on for everyone as well.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So the key is, thanks, Linda, for that insight. So the key is you have to have it on in your own setup. Then you have to be in screen share. Okay. To see it. All right. So let's go back here. All right. All right, so remote control during screen share, person who is sharing can allow others the control to share their content. All right, I have that on, not a big deal. Nonverbal feedback, these are the reactions. I don't know why they don't just call them reactions here. A lot of people, think that, oh my God, where's the reaction? Well, it's the nonverbal feedback. So I'm going to stop sharing for a minute and we're all going to do one. The reactions. So go to your reactions, which is the little happy face and the plus, and give me a thumbs up or a hand clap. All right. Beautiful. Okay. So by some of your yellow hands, I'm going to show you how you can turn those yellow hands into your own color. How cool would that be? Right? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll show you that in a few minutes when we go to the toolbar. All right, so we're going to share again. Okay, so that has to be on for you to get that reaction bar. Okay, meeting reactions right here. I'm sorry, nonverbal feedback. Forgive me. Those are those little hands and stuff that if you click on participants, you're going to see a yes, no, go slower, go faster, more, or clear all. So those I'm sorry, I had them nonverbal feedback are those, and then the meeting reactions are those. And I think that's something that they changed because a while back it was nonverbal. They didn't have this reaction thing.
How are those used in the meeting? Do they come up in the chat or in your box?
What?
The yes and the no and the
They
more.
come up only next to the participants.
Okay, like the raised hand.
Like the raised hand, exactly. So if you
Okay.
want to go to more and do a coffee cup, then I'll know it's time for a coffee break. And you can see mine too, right?
Ah,
Everybody do that. Everybody go to one of those, go faster, yes, no, or the more. The more you can even do a clapping hand. Okay, I'm not seeing your reactions. I'm only seeing mine. Okay, there we go. Now I'm seeing him. Dale wants a coffee break. We'll take a break in about 15 minutes. All right. Excellent. Good. And then again, those have to be taken off. The reactions, they disappear in a few minutes. But these, you'll have to go in lower hand,
Oh.
that kind of thing.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Dale.
Did we skip the whiteboard thing? I don't know how to find the whiteboard. Where is
Okay,
it?
I'll show you. Did we skip the whiteboard? Did I skip it? Okay.
Yeah.
Did I skip it? Oh, whiteboard.
Yeah.
I sure did. I went right to this fun stuff and totally skipped it. Thank you. All right. So again, for the whiteboard, you can allow people to save it. You can auto save the whiteboard, but if you want to use it, the whiteboard has to be turned on. So go ahead and turn on your whiteboard, everyone. I will let everybody share. Let me stop my share. Yep. Let me stop my share. Let me go to, I'll let all of you, multiple participants can do it simultaneously. All right. Okay, so now I just turned it on where all of you can do it. So when you do the whiteboard, all right, I'll do my whiteboard first. When you first say, somebody else beat me to it. When you first do the whiteboard, right, you have to click on whiteboard. You have to click on the square of whiteboard. Otherwise, you're just sharing your screen, right? So now it's the whiteboard. And again, you can draw on this. You can stamp. You can do all the same things you can do with the other feature, right? Save and clear. So it's really good if you want to teach somebody. But I don't know about you. My handwriting, is very difficult in here for me to draw. Right? That's why I use my other little toy that I use.
oh. Okay.
What is that toy called, by the way?
It's a document. Let me see.
Document camera.
Document camera.
It's a document camera.
Where's she getting into this whiteboard? I don't see it.
Yeah, a document camera. That's exactly what it's called.
It's on the screen share options, the different options of screens that you want to share.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Harvey, what was that? I'm sorry.
Document camera. And just go to, there's several different kinds. Just go to Amazon. You'll find it. All right. So somebody else screen share.
I just did.
Okay, good. Excellent. So that's the whiteboard. Again, in the right application, it can be fun, but for me, it's really difficult to, wow, who's doing all that? Is that you, Benita?
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. All right, next one. Anybody else want to try it? And then we'll move on. We're almost done with the settings, and then we're going to get into some really cool stuff. All right, so I'll just stop. All right. Right, good, excellent. All right, good job, everyone. All right, one more. Okay. All right, beautiful. Okay, so I'll just leave that on there for now. Let's go back to share. Okay. All right, so we'll continue that fun stuff. All right, so we thank you for Dale for coming back to the whiteboard. All right, so we've got that nonverbals. Okay, now this is important too. Allow removed participants to rejoin. You want that to be off because I showed you earlier how to remove somebody. So Arlene, I had made you the co-host, right? I didn't take it off. So go ahead now and click on the little dots and you will see down below, you'll have the word remove, but don't put it on you. You go to the person you want to remove. So let's say we want to remove Benita. Okay, so go to Benita's screen, click, and go and remove. She's like, I'm scared.
I'm still here.
She's still there. Arlene, are you still co-host?
It says, do you want to remove patron 27? Once removed, patron 2 will not be able to rejoin the meeting.
Okay, so don't remove her. That's not the same as the waiting room. Just put her in a waiting room, just for practice. Yeah, don't remove her. But that's how easy it is to remove somebody that's a crank, right? That's wreaking havoc. Okay, so now she's gone. Now go and get her back. Same thing. Okay, you've got to go to participants. You're going to see that she's waiting. You didn't remove her, did you?
What happened?
No, she's there. Oh, there she is.
Yep.
Transformed her. All right, Benita, who is that? That's one I haven't seen yet. Who is that?
If I told you. I'm Granny.
All right. Okay, Benita. All right, so we're almost done with this. That's so funny. You're so funny. All right. Now, okay, so once you remove them, they can't ever come back, ever, once that person's removed. Allow participants to rename themselves. I have that on, right? So you can all go and rename yourself. Just go to the 3 dots at the upper right-hand corner of your screen, go to rename, and then you can put in anything that you want there. All right, so I'm going to put speaker trainer. Just know that if you do the chat, and like I had some people put empowerment coach, well, we don't know who that is, right? You know, so Azina the warrior, I love that. So you can change it to anything that you want it to be changed to. You can even turn off your camera and put anonymous, but that's real creepy too. I've had people that have done that. Oh, and I like that. Allie from Canada. Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. All right. So I want to see something here. Just one second. And that is Miranda. Miranda, you're calling in from Hong Kong?
Yes.
Awesome. And what time is it there, Miranda?
Oh, it's 2 a.m. Sunday.
Oh my God, let's give her a big hand for that. That is amazing. That is so amazing. And we just want to thank you and bless you for being with us today.
My pleasure.
Give her a thumbs up. Absolutely. Great. Wonderful. All right, we're going to change those yellow thumbs in a minute. We're almost done with this. Then we'll take a quick little break for anybody that needs it. All right, so Okay, so allow them to rename themselves. So again, the host can turn that off or turn it on. I think it's a fun feature. I leave it on. Hide participant profile pictures in a meeting. Okay, that's if you do not want their profile pictures. All participants' profile pictures will be hidden, and only the names of the participants will display in the video. So I have that off because I want to see people's pictures. But if you didn't want to have people's pictures and just wanted their name, you could do that. I don't know why anybody would, but you could, right? Yeah, you could. And remember that anybody that doesn't have a camera, they're usually at the lower end of the galley, right? So if we stopped our share, then we see the two people that don't have their videos on are at the bottom. That's the way it's always going to be. Same if they just had a name. They're going to end up all at the bottom or the back end. All right. Okay. So let's go back to screen share. All right. We're almost done with this, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your patience. It takes a while, but this is how you get it set up properly. All right. So report participants in Zoom. Again, safety, those participants that you removed, you can do that. Now, here's this exciting feature that you've all learned and been participating in. But when you first get Zoom, I'm going to tell you a lot of these things are turned off, and break rooms is one of them. It's automatically turned off unless they change things. So you have to go in here when you first get your Zoom and set it all up. So breakouts, allow breakouts. Now here's a fun little feature. Allow hosts to assign participants to breakout when scheduling. Now, if this is on, you really have your choice. But if you put that on, then Zoom won't do it automatically. All right? Zoom won't do it automatically. So you want to have the choice. I like Zoom to do it automatically in my networking meeting because that way I don't have anybody be biased, right? It's just like, here, we're just going to let the universe do it for you. But do turn that on because that's so exciting. That's one of the best features in Zoom. And we've all been in breakout rooms, right? Excellent. So we won't go over that. I want to see, okay. So I want to see, all right, so Evelyn, we haven't really heard from you. Evelyn is from Canada. So we're going to just tune Evelyn in here. Where I gotta look for you.
Okay.
Where are you? There you are, Evelyn. All right, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Do you have any questions?
Not so far. I'm pretty good.
Okay, good. Well, holler if you do.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. All right, so now, right, thank you. All right, so let's keep going down again. We're almost done, but breakouts are so much fun. Okay. Now, these other things you can turn on or not. Now, I'm going to call Linda in here for a minute. Linda, do you know anything about closed caption? Because I don't do closed caption. Linda, are you here with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Do you do any closed caption stuff?
No, I don't. And basically that is allows people to be able to let's see here, hang on a second. Let me close this guys down. It allows you to make comments and I don't know anybody that's used it yet.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm going to have to play around with it.
And it has to do with the third party. So it has to do with like, if you're using a live stream, like if you're using streaming out through StreamYard,
yeah,
and or YouTube, it would allow you then to have like on a television show where you can see the language, like if it was in Spanish, it would show in English.
Got it.
Or it would have notes and comments, but it's a third-party use application. It's not. When I first saw it, I thought it was going to be something like, oh, we could put our branding down below.
Yeah.
Or we could send messages, but it's not that way at all. It has to do with utilizing third-party transcription and streaming.
And
so,
thank you, Linda. And like she's right. No, nobody I know uses it. I don't use this far in camera either. Do you know anything about that?
So far in camera is where it allows another participant to take control of your camera. We've used it with our AV tech when they're using an outside camera with a switcher and bringing in 2 or 3 Zoom rooms.
Okay, got it. Excellent. Okay, so that's going to be off for you. And so this is obviously off by the administrator. Why is that off? Because too much bandwidth. And with
Yes.
when 67% of more people joined Zoom in the last 4 months, they've locked that from us. Okay, the next one, but you don't need it anyway. The next one is virtual background. This being on is what allows you to do a virtual background. And once we're done with all the setup, we are going to review the virtual backgrounds for everyone. And
yeah, and a trick real quick, Arby, on virtual background is you can create a virtual background. Like you can create a graphic that has white space, and then in the back or up in a corner can have your logo. So when you put that virtual background up, you can be branded. And so there's a lot of different things that you can do with virtual background, but the key to that is having a green screen behind you. And there's a green screen on Amazon RV that it's a if you Google green screen that hooks to your chair, it's a little pop-up like those little pop-ups we have in the window for our car. It pops up and it has a little elastic band that goes around the back of your chair, and it allows you to just put it up right there on your chair. So for people that are space prohibitive, they can just hook the green screen on the back of their chair, put up their virtual window choice, and it works really good. It doesn't web you at all.
yeah, we're going to get into the detail of virtual. Thank you, Linda. In just a minute, when we're done with all the setup, and all of you are going to change your virtual backgrounds, and I'll show you some tricks and stuff to that. But absolutely agree. It's best to use a green screen if you're going to use a virtual background. Otherwise, we've all seen people's hands disappear, and you're all going to demonstrate that in a few minutes. Okay, so none of this other stuff, none of it is important. Identify guest participants in meeting and webinar, participants who belong to your account. These are for these big corporate accounts. If you're having meetings and you want to make sure that the right staff is in the meetings, then you would turn that on. Okay? Auto answer group chat. Again, why would you do that? You want to create participation. Only show default email when sending invites. Again, most of this stuff down here is for big corporate accounts, so I would just leave it off until you come down to, of course, allow live streaming meetings. Now, why would you do this? Because you could do an interview with someone in Zoom and have it automatically go to Facebook or YouTube, and why not repurpose? Now, I don't recommend it with real long events, but I do recommend it with short interviews, like 15, 20 minutes. It really works good. Otherwise, there's bandwidth issues. You've got to have a computer that can, push it out, and an internet connection that'll push it out. But try it. I'd say try it, but don't try it when you're doing a real-time thing. Try it ahead of time, and then get all the kinks worked out. And then, because you have to make sure you set up your YouTube and that it's connecting and all that great stuff. All right. Now, down here, this is just emails. This is something really simple. It's your personal choice. Do you want to know when the cloud recording is done? Now, the difference between a cloud recording and on your computer is you're going to get a better recording if you record it on your computer. So I could have done this recording one of two ways. I could have put it on the cloud, then sent it to all of you, and you download it from the cloud, or put it on my computer, which will be better, and then put it up on YouTube, which is how I do it. Got it? You have your choice. but I do a call every Tuesday at 4 o'clock. It's a training call. And every Tuesday at 4, but my web gal puts that one on a password protected site. So I have to put that one on the cloud. So it depends on what your needs are. And Zoom does not give you a lot of cloud space. They just don't give you a lot. You can buy extra. You can buy as much as you want in increments of like $50. But initially, and I don't know how much you have on the free one, if you have any at all, but you do have some on the paid version. All right. So, yes, Linda.
It's Arlene.
Oh, yes. Let me find you. Yes,
it's all right.
Arlene.
So we should probably put the cloud one off, right?
No, I just leave it both on because you will get asked when you hit the record button, you'll be asked, do you want to be on the cloud or on your computer? And I'm just telling you that it's going to look better on your computer, but if you have a need, like you want your web gal to do something with it, then you probably want it on the cloud.
Okay.
But I often have my web gal go to my YouTube page and take it off of there too. So
just leave it on, and then if it asks, and then it'll ask you, and then you say on recorder.
Yes.
Then
ask you which one.
I have another question. I cannot raise my hand. Is that because she made me a co-host?
Yes.
Okay.
I can stop it.
No, I don't care. I'll just
co-host.
let it in next time again.
Okay, so I withdrew it. So now go and try it. Okay, very good. All right. So now, so again, leave that on. And this is just emails you're getting, right? It's not, we already did the back end of the system, but these are emails. So email when attendees join the meeting before the host. I have it on, but I have that feature turned off. It's not overriding it. Got it? I don't allow people to come into the room before I come in. Remember that setting that was earlier? But I just turned them all on. But I could have this off. But I like it because what happens is I get a little email that says somebody is waiting. So-and-so, Arlene is in here and waiting, right? So she came in a few minutes before I did. So that's why I like it. So when canceling them a meeting, sure. Alternative host or set or removed. So I just turn all these on because I want the email notifications. When I don't care about this one, when the cloud recording is going to be permanently deleted. The beauty with Zoom is when you do have a recording, you can go and download that recording. It's real easy. I'll show you in a second. And then you can retrieve it. Like you could delete it, but you can retrieve it. It's the coolest thing, but after 7 days, it's permanently gone. All right, so you have some time. And then again, almost, and then we're gonna take a quick little break and then I'll show you the panel in a second. All right, so again, these are just defaults. I leave these. This is you can put it in different languages here, send you a preview email, all that great stuff. Schedule privileges, that's really for corporate accounts, not for us, all right? And then just leave everything else the same, okay? So did you learn at least one or two new things? Go on back. Thank you, Evelyn, thank you. Is it Evelyn or Eveline?
My mother calls me Eveline.
Eveline.
And my friends call me whatever. I'm casual, but Evelyn, Ellen, Eleanor.
Eveline, I like that. Okay, beautiful, perfect. Okay, excellent. All right, so we are going to get out of setup.
RV, before we do that, are we supposed to hit this regenerate button at the bottom? Or
don't touch that.
Thank you.
No, don't touch that. That's for the system, and if you have it, you don't want to regenerate your codes.
Gotcha. Thanks.
All right, thanks for asking. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to go into recordings because I said that you know how you can record. Now, any recordings here that are not on the computer, these are cloud recordings. Now, anytime you don't schedule a meeting, like remember I said I don't schedule, then it's just going to say your name. If you actually schedule a meeting, like when I scheduled these, when I get the recording, it's going to say $1 Million Speaker Summit. This is my meet and greet. Got it? But if I don't schedule, then the recording is just going to say Arvy's meeting. You may want to schedule because you may want to know what that meeting is. But what I do is this. Okay, all you have to do is so easy. Download. Boom. Right? Save file. Boom. It takes like a few minutes. You download it to your computer so you have it forever. Then you free up your cloud. Got it? Okay, I got a couple chats happening here. Let me look.
I actually missed where the download button was because I was trying to pull up my own
No
screen.
worries. It's right on the more. You can share this link to people or you can download it and then or delete it. So it's downloading right now to my system. Right? Now, guess what? You could go into the ones that you've deleted and you could delete them all later or say no. Or, okay, go to trash. Look these are all my trashed ones. I can recover them up to 7 days. I can recover, and I just did that to a lot of these. All of these, that's why there's nothing here, because I recovered them. So, I mean, it's the coolest thing. So always record so you can repurpose, put it up YouTube. I record all my client calls and I send it to them, or I give them permission to record, which is on your coaching calls. I think, Sherry, that'd be good for you too, especially when you're talking about compliance stuff, is start recording all of your meetings that you're doing over Zoom. You know, and if someone says, well, you didn't say this or that, you know, you've got some proof. Okay, so that's that. So what we're going to do now is we are going to take a little break. I just wanted to show you that because we were talking about that. So I'm going to go back here. All right. So we're going to take a quick little break and just, you know, quick little tinkle, get some coffee or tea break. So you could stay there. You could turn off your videos if you want, turn off your sound, and then just 5 minutes. Is 5 minutes enough? Is 5 minutes enough? Just a quick little break. All right. So don't go anywhere. Just put your video, turn your videos off and mute yourself. I just did that when I muted myself.
Hi, is anybody, I see Margie, hi. Does anybody know, hi, does anybody know why my picture doesn't show up when I put the stop video?
Yeah, I
have my
do.
name. Yeah, okay, what do I
So
do?
you go into your Zoom, you're in your account, right?
Yeah, okay,
And you're in your profile.
okay,
You got to go into your profile,
yeah, I'm trying to move my screen.
click on profile.
Profile, yep, that's at the top, okay.
And then it
It
should
has a
have your,
picture there.
it has a picture there?
Yeah.
Okay, now I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe Linda could tell you why, if Linda's
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
I think it has something to do with, I discovered this not too long ago myself. I didn't have the Zoom app on my computer. And when I downloaded that, it's kind of like the Skype, having the Skype app, but it's for Zoom. Now all of a sudden my picture is showing up because I have that, and that opens up and it seems to connect my picture now.
You have a Zoom app on your computer?
Interesting.
I do
on my
have the Zoom app
computer.
on mine. I have it.
It's
on.
really
So like if
handy.
I wanted to if I wanted to have an instant meeting, it's right there. I'm like, hit instant meeting, and Zoom opens up, and I'm ready to go and everything. But
Yeah.
it's kind of like having Skype on your desktop, but it's for Zoom.
But I
And you
have
can
it.
my
like
picture
copy
shows up
links
now.
and stuff super fast.
Yeah.
All righty, let's get going.
Okay.
All right. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Not everybody's back. We're missing a few people. All right, so now we're going to go into our control panel at the bottom, because there's always one or two ways to do Zoom, right? Like I've already showed you, if you can co-host, you can change it over here, you can change it over here. Well, same with a lot of the setup that we reviewed and covered, we can have it at our fingertips. So we're going to go through that as long as it's all set up, which we just did. So we are first going to go and change those emojis that are the wrong color, right? It's really easy to do. So you're going to go on the first arrow next to your mute button. We're on the control bar now, the one at the bottom. All right, the one at the bottom. So you're going to hit that little arrow at the bottom. Now, this is where you control your sound. If ever your sound is not right, it's usually your computer and not the other person's. You've got to make sure you've got your microphone set and your speakers set. Now, here's a trick and a hack. If you get a speaker like this, all right, a Yeti, it's going to automatically put your select a speaker, which are your outside speakers, which are your things next to your computer. It's going to put that on Yeti. If that happens, you're not going to hear it, right? Your speakers are separate. It's not a Yeti. Only the microphone should be on Yeti. All right. Now, when you go, we're going to go into audio sounds right now. Now, these are, see where it says output level? That's what your computer is putting out. And then volume level. So if you can't hear somebody, you go to and change these. You maybe increase your speakers. If they can't hear you, you increase the microphone. Got it?
Where are you at? I can't see.
I'm lost.
Okay, you can't see it. You're going to have to bring it up on your screen. We're at the little bar next to the mute button.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
We're going to go along that
Got it.
bar. All right, click that. At the bottom is audio settings. We're going to start there. Is everybody got that little pop-up?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. So go to audio settings. So again, if they can't hear you, you can turn up your volume. If you can't hear them, you've got to turn up the speakers. The one on the computer doesn't always work as well. All right. Okay. Now another little trick down below. You can see where it says all the way down to the sentences, automatically joined by audio. These are your personal settings now that when you're in somebody else's meeting. The settings we did before were your meeting, primarily your meeting settings, but this is how you can do it individually. So press this is one I like, but can't use it. It doesn't work. I have a keyboard that doesn't have it's wireless, so it won't work for me, but I love the feature. Press and hold the space bar to temporarily mute yourself, right? That's a fun feature that you may not know was there. Now, where I want you to go right now, if everybody's with me, I want you to go up to general. So go up to general. And there, ladies and gentlemen, you will see your reaction skin tones. Yay! I want you to change it to your skin tone. Now, is that cool or is that cool? Because I could tell if someone doesn't know about them because they end up being defaulted at yellow. So everybody change your skin tone.
RV, I'm totally lost. Are we in settings? Are we in recordings? Where are we? I don't have a clue.
Okay, you're in neither. You're going to go up to general. You're still in settings, but you're going to go up to general.
We're in settings, go up to general. Okay.
You got it. Yeah, if ever you get, we don't want to leave anybody behind, so just holler if you're, okay. So everybody change their skin tone to whatever it is you'd like to have. And then I'll just quickly run over all of these, all right? And most of mine are off. So start Zoom when I start Windows. No, I have that off. When closed, minimize window. And instead of the taskbar, I have that on. Dual monitors. I do have dual monitors, but I don't have it on because I don't want it to, work with the dual monitors. So just kind of, they're all personal to you. I'll tell you if there's anything that should absolutely be clicked. I like this ask me to confirm when I leave a meeting to make sure, because you could hover on that and accidentally leave and not mean to. So I have that on. I don't care about my connected time. I don't care about reminding me, but you might. And stop my video and audio when my display is off or screensaver begins. No, I don't have that on. So here, the only real important one to me is the skin tones. So everybody do your skin tone and then give me a reaction. Let's make sure we're all cool.
RV, I went to settings. I don't see general.
Okay, then why don't you start over? Go to the little mute button and the arrow. Don't go to the settings that we just spent an hour in. That's not the settings.
I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do.
No worries, no worries, no worries. Okay, no worries. All right, so you're in gallery view. You're in gallery, right? Okay, right. Now we're working on the control bar right now. That's the bottom of your screen. So you have a mute button. Do you see that? Over to the left. We're going from left to right.
Where it says unmute or mute, right?
Right, but the arrow next door to it, right? Click that. Down at the very bottom, Arlene, you'll see audio settings.
Got it.
That's the setting we're in. So click on that and then go up to the word general.
Okay.
All right. And then pick your skin type. All right. So everybody now pick your skin type. Let me see them. Yay. Good, Lori. Teresa, what have you got? Do your reaction. Lindy, what have you got?
Mine gets lost in my plant.
Where's the reaction located?
Down at the bottom left. Now, if in your Zoom you don't have it turned on, you won't see it.
Oh, okay.
That's why we went over the setup first.
Okay.
So quick, go to your setup and turn on reactions.
Okay.
It's like halfway down.
I did it.
Yeah? Oh, you did it. Yay. Okay, you got it on. Excellent. All right, Catherine, do you have yours on? And Margie? And Lawrence? Okay, Lawrence, is there a problem? Unmute yourself. Lawrence?
Okay. I got a little lost. I see the automatic adjust, but I think I did not set the setting before that you mentioned. I am very low tech, and I'm going to review all of this, and I have a friend that's going to work out with me on everything you're teaching.
Okay.
So I'm okay.
Okay. You're taking notes then, right?
I will get it.
Yes, you will.
Yeah.
You will.
Good notes.
You're getting it. All right. Showing up is everything. Okay, so now we all have the reactions. Now we're going to go back to the audio setting and we're going to go back to general. We know there's nothing there, but we're going to go down the line with everything. Okay, the next one is video. Now this one is where I promised you you're going to touch up your appearance. So we have enable HD, we have mirror my video, those should be on, and touch up my appearance. Now, if you do that and look, like, who has that off for a minute? Who has it off? Margie, you have it off? Turn it off. And we're all going to look at Margie. She's going to turn it on, and you're going to see the difference. See, it's subtle. It just softens it a little bit. Do you all see that?
I don't know where we are.
You don't know where we are? Okay.
Can Margie speak so she can blow up and I can see her bigger, see the difference?
Okay, we'll make Margie, we're going to put you in. I'm going to spotlight your video so we're all going to see you big. All right. So now turn it off and then
It's off.
It's off. So that's Margie. Now turn it on, Margie.
I'm turning it on.
Boy, it's really subtle.
It's subtle, but
I don't know.
you know, it's subtle, but why not use it? You know?
But if I go left there, that's where I am. But if I mirror it, now I've got the mirror on.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Why would you mirror it?
Okay. I have mirror. I'll show you why. Because like when you mirror, when I look at myself right here, I know in my left hand, my right hand corner over there is the plug, right? Everything's the same. If I flipped it, then everything's flipped and it's the opposite. And my cord to me would be over there. Okay. So like, let me take off mirror my video. Now do you see the difference? Right. And it's weird to me. Weird. So mirror video.
It doesn't change the way it looks to us. It only changes the way it looks to you.
Got it. Okay, good. Okay, good.
Can we go through how you did the how we look better? I'm still in the general setting, but it's not in the general setting where that's located.
Video settings. So we're going down the list now.
Okay, one more. So video settings.
Where is the video settings? I'm lost again.
Okay. All right.
To get to video settings.
So always go back to the beginning. So go back to audio settings next to the mute button. Go back to audio settings, right? And go up one, you'll see video.
So I click the arrow by the mute button. Is that what you're saying?
Correct. And or you could go next to the video button. Why don't you just do that? Go next to the video button and go video settings. That's the same way. Remember I said there's several ways to get to the same conclusion.
Okay, so I'm in audio. I need to go to video.
Correct. Okay, Dr. Lindy, are you there too?
Yeah, I did it.
And then you touched up your appearance?
Mm-hmm. And it stayed the same.
Sure, it's subtle.
What I want to know is if Dr. Liddy can private chat, because I had private chatted her a couple times in other events, and then I think she said she didn't know how to do that to someone.
Yeah, I will totally admit that I am a one-trick pony. So when it's hard for me to watch and text or type it simultaneously. So, but what I do, did I put my email in? Because I'd love for us to chat. The chat.
Okay, So in my room, I have personal private chat off. Remember I told you why? Because I use this for a networking meeting every
Right.
single week. And I don't want them chit-chatting when it's only an hour meeting. So we have to get through a lot of it. But that's entirely up to you. But so if you can't private chat in this room, it's because I have it off. But I want everyone to chat to everyone. Okay, that's entirely up to you and your settings. All right, so let's just quick finish the video settings. All right, so always show video preview dialog when joining a meeting. That's that little box that comes up. Now, remember there's two ways to do something. This is one that you can change here, but remember we also did it up in the setup. Okay, all right, same with hide non-video participants. I can do that here. I can also do that in the setup.
I have a question, Avi.
Yes.
I have a green screen and the flower bow, whatever it is, on my headband keeps on blinking. How do I change that?
And you have a green screen?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get into that in 1 second. Catherine, can you wait? Yeah, we'll address that in a second. That's a very good one. All right, so down below also you have spotlight, my video when I speak. That's automatic, so I don't have to be in a speaker view. But I don't want that on because sometimes I just like everybody being in a gallery view. Okay? Because I can spotlight people individually and myself. I don't want it to be automatic. Remember, this is when you're first coming into the room. These settings will be set. Display 49 participants in the screen. That's the most you can display. Then everybody, you have to do an arrow, and we've all seen that, right?
I'm sorry, Ari. Mine wouldn't allow me to do 49 when I clicked it. It wouldn't. Is that
you have a free version?
You have to be paid. You have to be paid to get that.
Yeah, mine is paid. They definitely take my money.
Yeah,
I think you have to be the host. I think you have to be the host to do that because I have a paid one too, and it's grayed out.
Okay, exactly. It's grayed out. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Okay, yeah, you're probably right. It's a host option. Okay, thank you.
Ari, there's another thing. I've got two computers, and one is an older version. I use a Mac, and the older version doesn't allow the 49, and the newer Mac that I have allows that. So it could be the computer too.
It could be the computer.
Yeah.
It could be the computer. Thank you. Okay, so now we're not going to go down this. We're going to go across. All right. So because if you see in that lineup, if you go back to video settings and you see audio settings, share screen, chat, all that stuff, we have that across our bar. So we're just going to do it across the bar. All right, but we are going to cover it all. All right, so next is virtual background. So again, we'll address Catherine's question. Go to the video, next to the video and the arrow, and choose virtual background. Now, when you come in to choose, and this might be your problem, Catherine, you have to click on I have a green screen if you have a green screen.
How did you get there? Because I know I did that in the past.
Okay.
Is that in the advanced?
No, just go next to the arrow, stop video, go to arrow, and then choose.
Oh, you mean on our main screen? Okay.
Yeah, on our toolbar, and then choose virtual background. Before you choose it, there's two questions in the bottom that says, one, I have a green screen, and one says mirror my video. If you have a green screen, you want to click that.
Okay, I just did.
Okay, but look at that. Doesn't look good. So you have a green screen.
Well, it's not taking my, it's showing my whole background.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
Yeah, that's not good. So you have a very small, right now it's everything. So it's probably something in your computer then. Or you need to get a bigger green screen. So it will cover the whole gamut.
Yeah.
It's like 8 feet wide.
Is it close to you? Is it close to you?
It's about 2 feet behind me.
Interesting. Okay, because usually Just
So
click that.
Angel, I think I know why the little green flower disappears. Cheryl Plouffe mentioned if you have a green screen behind you and you're doing a virtual and you have anything green on you, somehow the technology melts and your flower disappears. So if you have a red flower, perhaps a pink flower.
Yeah.
We'll put this here.
Or
No,
a red
that's-
microphone.
Yeah, that's red and it was blinking. Yeah.
Blinking too. Oh, how interesting.
It's because you're not using your green
Again,
screen.
everything I said, Angel.
Okay.
No,
green
it's because you're
screen.
not using your green.
Well, I just put, now I have the green screen and it shows my room.
Yeah, that's
Now
not.
I'm out of it.
Okay, so yeah, I'm not sure that's a technical thing. So I would use, without the green screen, use your background, and I just keep from having something on your head. Because
Okay.
when you use I'm going to do these are my puppies. Because when you have a green screen, and you go out here, your fingers and stuff can disappear, but it's not too bad. I mean, mine isn't too bad, and I don't have a green screen.
Yeah, it's making a
Yeah,
shadow thing.
right. So
All right, I'll contact Zoom and I'll ask them.
Yeah, play with your green screens. I mean, I do have some, that are, my logos, right? And it smooths out your hair kind of thing. So, these are, you can, put up pictures. So when you go into it, just hit the plus button and you can put up pictures. You can put up videos. I've got a video of my $1 million, right? So when you do the video, it doesn't have any sound on your video, but you can see, the video and the big and all that great
So
stuff.
how do you put a picture?
You have to load them up. So when you go to virtual background, there's a little plus sign over to the right. You want to click on that plus sign. It's add image or video. And then you just go to your computer and add whatever it is you want.
Can that be done on a cell phone easily?
That I don't know, because I don't use a cell phone for it. So I have no idea.
Oh, that's funny. Guy
Okay.
behind you.
All right, so everybody's cool with the virtual. Why don't you all give me a virtual background?
I can't because I don't have a green screen.
Well, I don't have a green screen either, obviously.
Well,
right? You only click on green screen if you have one. Okay, so
Because my backgrounds aren't working.
It says my computer doesn't meet the minimum requirements.
Okay.
Right.
Same with mine.
Mine says that too.
Mine
I
says
have to
that
have
also.
a green screen.
Oh, Sherry, I like that. Is this what your accounting looks like?
No, this is what I help people with.
No, I didn't mean you. I mean, that's what you're saying to all of us. Is that what you look like? And then we know Benita has a green screen, right, Benita? Your green screen.
I don't. Oh, well, not here. Not in this room.
Is that your house?
No, this is the law library at the courthouse. It's easily, I come in here sometimes on the weekends because nobody else is in here. I have a key to it.
Nice.
Cool.
After hours.
So Christina has a great
Go through
background.
security.
That looks very real. Now Allie is kind of disappearing because see her wall is pictures from her wall. Yeah. So that's a computer issue unless you have that. I have a green screen clicked. If you have a green screen and it's clicked and you don't have a green screen, you'll get that reaction. So let me demonstrate. So if I go to choose virtual and I say I have a green screen and then I pick something, look at what happens to me. Right?
Yeah. Yep.
But if I unclick I have a green screen when I don't have a green screen, it looks fine. So if that doesn't solve the problem, then it's your computer. So Allie, try that. Make sure I have a green screen is not turned on.
If I click it because I'm a free version, it says I'm not compatible and it
Oh.
kicks me right out completely.
Okay, then that's why. Then that is exactly why. Okay. All right, great. Enough about green screen. And again, as I said in my presentation, when you're the speaker, be careful when you use your green screen. You do want it to be real looking, authentic. Sherry's is real and authentic. You want it to be well branded. But sometimes it's going to say more about you having one than not having one. So just be careful. What is it saying about you and your brand? See, we see Dr. Lindy, we see her certificates. We know she's well educated. You know, that's a very good background. But you're on a laptop, right?
I'm on a Surface Pro.
You're on a what?
The little Microsoft Surface Pro.
Okay. Okay. So prop it up a little bit because you're at an angle. So just put it up on some boxes or something, just to go straight at you. Then we'll be able to read and see your certificates better. Yeah. Yeah.
Let me go from the back. Okay.
You don't have to do it now, but I mean, when you're going to don't go now. Okay. enough about virtual. Okay. All right. So we know about participants, that in order for us to see who's there, we click on participants. If you want to see the chat, you have to first have participants up. Now, all of you, I sent you, if you look back in the chat, I sent you the checklist that I was looking for earlier. Did you all grab it? So go to that file and grab it. Just click on it. It's a PDF. Now, Lawrence, if you don't know how to do it, don't worry about it. I'll send it to you privately. But I just wanted to demonstrate how you could put a file in there from your own computer.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that cool? Is that $1 million idea? Let me get my paddle here. So you're all going to get one of these. And it's when we're at my event, when you hear $1 million idea in my live events, everybody shouts out millions. Well, we can't do that in this environment. So you're all going to have a paddle. The other thing I say is, so when it's $1 million idea, you're going to do this. And the other thing I say is, how cool is that? And people respond, that's cool. So the other side is, that's cool. Is that cool? And then the other thing you're going to get, now it's not going to be swag. I'm not having anybody put any swag. I don't like swag. Ugh. It's just advertisements and stuff. But another thing you're going to get is a door hanger. Okay? And the door hanger says, shh, in process of making millions. And then it has the logo. So you're going to get that. And a couple other things, you know, pin and some Post-it notes, anything that's flat so I can mail it easily. So it'll be a lot of fun. So get ready for that. All right. So we're all good.
No, I didn't see how you added the document onto the screen.
Okay. Well, what you do is I can't show you because the chat box doesn't share. I can't show the chat box. But if you look at your chat box right now, at the very bottom, it says the word file, right? Okay. So you can click on the file and you've got a choice: Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, Google Box, or your computer. So I just selected my computer, and then I went and found the file and then attached it, you know, hit enter, and boom, it's there.
And where's that put it then?
I don't see.
Oh, in the chat. Okay.
The chat.
I just did it. Okay.
That's where I got
So you can send a picture too, right?
Yes, any file.
A video? Huh.
I don't know about a video. I don't know if there's enough power or room, but why don't you try it? Yeah, I haven't tried that, just files. So I don't know, but video is a file, so I don't see why not. Yeah. Okay, very cool. Okay, all right, so we got that participant. Someone just jumped off. I don't know who that was. Okay. Huh. Okay, good. Somebody's giving you something else. Friendly order in June. So Catherine just sent something. Good job, Catherine. Good job. So if you want to send anybody a file, you've got to grab and download the file before the meeting ends. However, you have to use that download. So I'll download and see what that is. And it goes automatically to your download in your computer. All right, great.
I was ordering my ice cream.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Okay, all right. So we're going to move on to, again, we're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost done. And then we'll open up for any other questions. I'll be here as long as you have questions. Now we all talked about the share, right? But here's one thing I want to teach you about the share that you may or may not know, and each of you are going to take a chance to do this. When you click on the share, if you are going to, and that's the mistake I made at Daniela's event, when you come into the share, before you hit the share button over on the right-hand side, you want to click share computer sound. Otherwise, the people will not hear sound coming out of your computer if you play a video or music. Got it? So everybody go there right now. It's over on the left-hand side. You got to click that on before you click on the share button.
Okay, where do we click? Next to the mute?
It's at the very bottom. So share screen. It's over.
Oh, share screen, not just share. It's share screen.
Before you hit that last share, over to the left at the very bottom, there's something that says share computer sound. If you want people to hear your video or your music, then that's got to be clicked on. Got it? Is that $1 million idea, Margie? Yeah,
that's for music or sound. What is that for now?
It's for sound coming out of your computer if you're going to play a video or music. Okay. All right. So if I wanted to take you all to YouTube and show you a music piece or a video clip, then I have to have that on or you won't hear it. You'll see it, but you won't hear it. That's what happened to me at Daniela's event. When I shared my screen, I didn't click on that. And when you, it's not there forever. It's not one of those permanent things, unfortunately, right? Every time in that meeting, you only have to do it once in that meeting. So if I came in and out of this meeting, it'd still be on. But once I close this meeting, it goes back to being blank again. Is that clear? So every time, just get in a habit of when you share to click on that. Whether you're going to have music, sound, because you never know. You might go, hey, I want to show you something. Okay? $1 million idea and trick there.
Where is that?
As soon as you hit the share button, so go ahead and hit share. You don't have to share. Then that screen comes up with the whiteboard and all of that. If you look in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, there is a share computer sound. Now, if you don't have it, it might be, maybe it's not in the free version. How many of you have it and saw it? Okay, good.
I do.
Okay, Lawrence, you don't have it or are you not?
I don't see it.
Okay, so are you sharing? Did you hit the share button?
It's also very, RV, if I may, the lettering to the left is very pale. It's a pale gray. So
Yeah.
if you're looking for a dark color, it's not there. It's very like clear gray almost. Have to really be focused on it.
Yeah, very bottom left. There's a tiny little box and then 3 words. Share computer sound. Lawrence?
Is this on the toolbar or it's after you've gone into something?
After you've gone into the share. So it's first screen when the share comes up.
It's
The
in
little
share
green
screen.
screen
You have to
square.
go to share
Yes.
screen first, not share. You have to go to share screen and then you go to share. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, but before you hit the last blue share button, look over to the left and click that on. Once you share the second share, it's too late.
My lips are together. Peter. The lips go together. So I have to make sound substitutions. Instead of am, I substitute an and for it. For example, some things are incredibly hard to say ventriloquially, such as Peter Piper picked up.
Now that we saw the sound, but you didn't complete the share, so we didn't see the screen.
Oh, what do I have to do to complete it?
hit the blue share button. All shares, you hit 2 buttons. There, now hit finish sharing it.
It's the button all the way to the right. It's highlighted in blue.
Correct. That completes the share. There you go.
Hey.
All right, now play your video of you and Danella. Margie, can you play it? Beautiful. Okay, so that's a free version. You can tell because of the logo, Zoom is there. That's one reason you want to get rid of the free and go to the paid version. You're going to be using this tool for many, many years, ladies and gentlemen. So go ahead. All right, so Margie, we didn't hear the sound on that.
The sound is on
because
my end.
She was a cheerleader for the event. She
Okay,
was
now we
right
hear it.
there participating
Now you hear it?
to,
Yeah.
you know, 150
Good.
you know, percent all
you
the
hear
time,
it and you
every
see it?
time. And that's
No,
just
you have to reshare
I
your
have not
screen.
known this
You
woman.
share your screen.
I tell you, she is in
Okay.
my life forever. I am so excited to introduce our guest today for the Visibility Show.
I keep getting,
Miss Margie Dunkey Jacobs.
change
Margie, thank you for
password.
joining us today.
Danella, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here with you. Thank you.
Okay, go ahead and stop.
Awesome. So Margie, when I met her, was kind of taken, you know, like many people over the
So
last.
go ahead and we'll stop that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's that's on your end if it's asking you for a password or something. Yeah, because remember I have all my passwords turned off. Okay, so let's continue. We're almost done. Thank you for all your patience. All right. So we already talked about the chat. We don't need to talk about that. We already know about share screen. Now, let me talk to you about recording again. Right? Now, recording is, you know, we said it could be on the Zoom or it could be the cloud. But here's one thing I want to share with you about recording. And this, Abigail, you might want to consider. So what they did for Daniela's event is they stopped the recording at every break and just did segments. You don't have to do that. You can pause it. So when I do my event, because I want every day, I mean, you have to, once you leave the meeting, it's over, and I don't want to leave my meeting on and pause for the night. So I'll have 3 separate recordings for 3 days. But you could, if you wanted one big massive recording, just hit the pause button. So I'm going to hit the pause button when I have my breaks and lunch. But I'm not going to have separate segments. That's a nightmare to try to manage unless you've got a video team working with you, which I don't. I do a lot, most of this stuff like Cheryl does. I do it myself, right? So I can be, you know, in charge and have that kind of control and not be the mercy of somebody. So Abigail, that might be something you want to think about for your 3-day event. Just pause it. Yes.
I have a tech team who's.
Oh, okay. Who will take all that?
Yeah, because we're hoping to have 200 people. So.
Yeah, I'm going to have 200 people on mine too, and
Yeah,
I will have a tech team, but I will tell them what I want.
Yeah, no, but that's good to consider. Thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, Sherry.
So what you're saying is for the 3 days, if you turn off your Zoom and then restart it up the next day, it's going to resume the recording?
No, it's going to be a new recording if you stop it. So if you want it to resume, always hit pause. Okay, you could.
But for the next day or just for the one day?
You could, but then you would have a massive recording and you've got to stay live. So I don't recommend that. I recommend just pausing for the breaks and the lunch break and close it off at night.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's still live and you can't use your computer, or you might hit a button, or, you know. So I would have 3 separate recordings for each day. And that's how most people are doing it.
Are you actually, are you offering the recordings as an option to people?
Yeah, VIP gets the recording. General admission does not.
So is your AV tech team then going to break it into segments so they're not getting a 7-hour recording?
No, it's going to be 3 days, one big. I don't want segments. I want a full day. And it'll
Okay, but that's how that'll be sent. It's not going to be edited to be sent out as the recordings.
No, mine will not be edited. Mine will be, live and unplugged. Now, when we just took the 5-minute break, I didn't pause it. So when you all get this video, you're gonna see what happened through the break. But that was only 5 minutes, not a big deal. Right. But it's always good to have somebody watching your back or have a tech team that can remember to do that if you've got a big event. Because I'm expecting 200 or more at my event as well, so I won't be able to manage, all of that. Yeah, I've already got 50 already registered. So and I haven't even really started marketing it yet because virtual events mainly market in the last couple of months. So the beginning of August will be my big push. Yeah, so you have a lot of new friends to play with. And most all of them, of course, are speakers or wannabe speakers. Okay.
Harvey, can I change subject for a second?
Yes.
We were talking about how much space you have with the Zoom cloud. I'm not sure how it works on this one program, but there's Be Connected, and it's a business-to-business connection. But with that program, you get Zoom for 500 people on at once, and it's only $12.99 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So I put that link into the chat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that is a program that's in beta test right now.
Right.
So it is in beta test. It is a membership site. There's a big conglomerate. So now when that happens, just to let you know, because I'm in another one of those, and you don't get your support directly from Zoom. So what it is it's an enterprise account, right? Some big conglomerate company or whatever. It's an enterprise account, and you've got to go to that company if you ever need help. You cannot go to Zoom. But the good news is, if ever you want to stop it, there's a way to stop it and resume your regular Zoom connection. So just so you know, you can't be calling Zoom for support.
Thank you.
So there's always a little catch with things like that, right?
Yep.
But I'm going to upgrade mine. I've got another company that I'm working with, not Be Connected, but another one. And I'm going to do it for my event. Right now, I only have 100. If you want webinar on this, it is another $40, 40 or $50. So I pay $50 a month for mine,
Okay, well, the Be Connected is $12.99 for all of it.
Yeah, but like I say, you don't get to work with Zoom directly anymore. You work with that company. Yeah. Just so y'all know.
Arby, what's the other company that you're considering? Because I'm new to this space. I'm a academic trying to share the information that I've learned all these years with business owners.
Yeah.
So
I think it's called Workspace or something.
Workspace.
Okay. But I'm not so sure because I haven't done it yet.
Okay,
I'm a little apprehensive.
When you let me know. So because I'm looking for things that are going to work for me. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to wait until closer to my event.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, very good. All right, so let's continue. Thank you very much for that, Catherine. All right, we're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost done. All right, so that's just a little bit about the recording. We already talked about breakout rooms. Does anybody have any questions about the breakout rooms or how to use them?
How does it calculate how many people go in each room and how many rooms?
Okay, by the number of people participants. So if I click breakout rooms, all of you can't see it. Now, here's the trick too. If you're the host, you will not go into a breakout room. But if you're the co-host, you will. So if you're a co-host and you don't want to go into a breakout room, then, you've got to jump out of it. But you will. So right now, screen comes up when I hit it and it says, assign 13 participants, and I've been talking too much, 13 participants into blank rooms. So I have a choice, Catherine, where I can say 1 room, 2 rooms, 3 rooms, 4 rooms. Then it will tell me 3 to 4 participants per room. So it tells me how many are going to go in there based on the
Okay,
room.
so it's only on your screen that we can see that.
It gives me a screen.
Okay.
And then I can create rooms. Now, the typical getting out of a room is a minute, but I want you to know you can set that for 15 seconds if you want. All right. You could also talk to people in the room. So I'm going to create these rooms. You're all going to go into a room. We're not going to do it along. I'll just send you a little message and then you'll jump out of the room. So just have that experience. All righty.
I'm curious how you made the message.
Okay, it says broadcast. Once I send you in a room, I get at the bottom, I can see who's in different rooms. I can move you to another room. I can join a room or I can leave a broadcast. So it's right there. Once you're the host of a meeting, you'll see it. Okay.
So I've been in breakout rooms and they've said, like, if you have the same people or a majority of the same people in there and you want to go to a different room, how do you do that?
As an individual, you cannot do it. You cannot.
There's a little button that would.
Well, I see everybody in what room. So I can say remove and join number 4. All the rooms are numbered like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can actually remove you from one room and put you in another room.
Right.
And that's how people will put mentors or, facilitators in certain rooms. Okay. So play around with that next time you have a meeting with your family or whatever, because the best way to learn it is to do it. Okay. Okay. So then the only last button we haven't covered over in the bar is the more button. And the more button, that's how we do a Facebook Live, a workplace Facebook Live, or live video. And again, those work really well for interviews, especially the shorter the interview, the better. All right. I wouldn't put a whole live stream day on there. You might not have the bandwidth. It really sucks a lot of bandwidth out of your meeting and could make your internet intermittent because you're zooming here and you're zooming live streaming over there. So when you practice it with short meetings.
Where do you find the more? Did you find the more button?
You're not going to see it because you're not the host. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you're the host, because you can't live stream my meeting. But because we turned it on in the settings, next time you're the host, you're going to see that more button. Okay? Okay, so that's all that I have. We are right on time. But if you have any questions, let me tell you what's happening in the next, and then I'll answer your questions. So anybody that has to go. So I always start with the Zoom training because that's our foundation. Okay, so I'm hearing some noise. So I'm going to mute all. All right, so I just muted all of you. You can always unmute yourself. So we start there because that's the foundation for everything because we're going to be speaking virtually. Next one is going to be Facebook Live, but you're all going to do an actual live. You're going to use using my formula because that's what keeps people from doing a live is because they don't know what to say and how to say it. And they sit there and they just do goofy stuff. And that's fun, but I'm going to teach you how to get business and how to get more speaking engagements and how to gain more visibility. The key to Facebook Live, like everything else, is consistency. So we're going to pick a time when you're going to do the live. You're going to do them. I've got a safe little Facebook group set up that you'll get access to before the class. And we're going to put them in there and you're going to get feedback from me. So we're actually going to do them, right? So you'll have your phone handy because we're going to have them here. Then you're going to have your phone and you're going to do it. And I'm going to break you into breakout rooms individually, all by yourself. Otherwise, what happens is if someone unmutes themselves, then it interrupts somebody else's live that they're doing, even if they're muted. So I learned you're all going to go into your own little breakouts. You're going to practice it yourself. Then after, 15 minutes, we'll bring you all back. Okay, it's really a fun process. And then so that's going to be on Wednesday. Let's see when that is, August. Let me get my glasses on. August 5th at 10 o'clock. That's during the week. I didn't want to take away all your Saturdays for the next 3 days, but then we'll do Saturday the 1st is the Facebook class. And then the 5th, which is a Wednesday, is how to be that $1 million speaker. So that'll be more tips on how you can just set yourself up for speaking success. All right. So that's what's coming up. Now, questions. I'll stay here as long as you have questions. Yes, Teresa.
Can a co-host see that more button and stream? Like if I was your co-host, would I be able to stream your meeting live?
No. We can try it, but I don't think so. Good question, but I believe not. I'm going to make you, now I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to make you co-host and then tell us what you see. Then I'll make you the host. But remember I said there's only one host.
Right.
So if I give my reins over, and that's what in 3-day events that they do, Abigail, you relinquish your host and you let like Daniela or in her case, she had the video guy was the host. I don't know if you all noticed, but Linda and them, they were co-hosts. She was a co-host, right? The video, the rally was the host. Okay. So he probably was doing a lot of the tech back end. So I'm going to make you co-host. And you can see if it's there. I'm going to guess that it's not. All right? You tell me, is the more button there?
It is not there.
Okay. Now I will make you the host. All right? And the message I get is, do you want to change the host to Teresa? Right? Not make her a host. It's change. So I lose my host. All right? Now tell me.
Yes, it's there.
Right? And I don't have it. I don't have it anymore. I have my reactions and it stops there. I don't have my security. So that means I can't kick people out. I just gave it all up to you. But you can do that, just so you all know.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
Now, let me see. Let me see if I can get it back.
Oh, yeah.
I can't get it back. You're going to have to give it back to me.
Yay.
So don't give up.
Got control. No. Okay.
Don't give up your host capabilities unless you really trust who you're giving it up to.
Okay. I think we're good now.
Yeah, we're good. We're all back. All right.
Thank you.
Now I've got my regular bar back. So good question. Thanks for going over that. Margie.
Hi, thank you. So I think on the PDF thing, does it have to be a PDF in order to share a file?
Nope. It can be a Word doc. It can be an Excel spreadsheet. The one thing I wasn't sure about is video because I haven't tried it, but video's a file, audio's a file, so I don't see why not. I would experiment with that.
Okay, I might have just missed where to grab, like how to put that on the chat. Where am I pulling it?
What you do is go to File, and then you get a little pop-up, and you go to your computer. If it's on your computer, it's at the very bottom.
Okay, so it would be in my Zoom on file.
Yeah, you're in Zoom in the chat box, the files next to chat box. When you say your computer, it opens up for your whole computer. But the problem is it's only a little tiny box and it doesn't have the search capabilities. So that's what I was struggling with. I couldn't just say, give me my checklist. So you should find the file you want to save, know where it is before you go to share it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This was a great class. Thanks.
Yeah, good. Thank you. All right. Any other questions? How you holding up, Miranda? 3 o'clock in the morning or something?
I'm doing fine. I'm enjoying this.
Good.
I've done more than 5 things. I was just checking out the file attachment. Like that very much.
Good. Yes. And remember, that is something in the setup that you You know, if you don't see it on somebody's screen, it's because they have it off. Yeah. All right. So Arlene had a question, and then there was another raised hand. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Arlene first, and then we'll go to Dell.
So when I go to share screen and I hit the app, I go to the right bottom and press share, it immediately was taking, now it's got me into my text messages.
Right. Well, when you do a share, you've got a whole bunch of boxes. You've got your whiteboard, you got this, you got that. So all you want to do is share what's on your screen. Don't pick one of those boxes. So just leave it where it is my best advice, and then click the second share button. Don't try to pick one of the boxes.
Wait a minute, I'm confused. So let me go back to Zoom now, because I don't know where I stop share. Okay, I gotta go to stop share. So when I go to share screen,
go to share screen.
All these pages come up. I don't want to share any of those. I wanted to share something in my documents.
Well, whatever is on the screen where the people are, that's the screen you're sharing at that time.
I don't know what you mean by where the people are.
Okay, there's a gallery screen of everybody. That's usually the very first screen in the share.
Yeah, okay.
That one, that's the one you want.
Desktop?
Yes. Desktop. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word.
So if I clear, okay, so how do I share with something to them?
Because you're going to share your desktop. So whatever is on your desktop, we're going to see. So try it now.
So click on the gallery desktop?
Yeah.
Okay, and it says sign into Dropbox to continue.
But that's on your desktop.
But how do I find the other stuff on my desktop?
How you normally find it. Let me move my screen around. Does your desktop say this right now?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, cancel on your desktop, cancel out of this screen.
On my desktop?
There you go. All right, so now we see what you're doing. We see you moving through, so you're sharing your screen.
So if I want to share documents, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not sure how I got there. Can you just be patient with me for a second? I go to share screen and then go to the desktop. Wait a minute. No, see, nothing happens.
Hit the blue share button. You
share.
It's defaulted to the desktop.
Okay, and then it goes sign into Dropbox. So then I should just go to my Finder. Go to my Finder.
Yeah, for some reason your system is defaulting to Dropbox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what I would recommend you do, like you have your PowerPoint all ready. Now here's $1 million idea that I got. I'm going to stop your share. This is another $1 million idea. Now, for most people, all right, for most people, this is what they do. They have it up, right? Then they go back here. And they fumble and mumble, right? Then they go, well, let me share my screen, right? And then they go to the Zoom, right? This is like, I don't use this, but this would have been like, because it doesn't say much except what you're going to get. So I didn't want to waste our time today, but let's just say this was my PowerPoint for today. Then what do? I go to slideshow. I go from the beginning. I display settings. I swap presenters because I have 2 computers. Now you should see a full screen, right? What a pain in the butt. And that's what I did at Daniela's event. And then I found out to my horror after talking to him later that I wasn't in presenter view. I was in the other view where you can see what's coming. That's a speaker's nightmare. Let me share with you how we can avoid that. Let me stop my share. Okay. Now I'm going to do something. I'm going to go right click. You're not going to be able to see it, but just write it down. Right click.
Are you in share screen now, or where are you?
No. Let me.
To share, okay, to share your
share screen. I just want you're not going to see it. This
Okay.
is what you're going to do behind the scene to get yourself ready so you can avoid those 4 or 5 cumbersome steps. This is $1 million trillion lesson I just learned, right? Okay. So you're not going to see it, but I'm going to talk you through it.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to talk you through it. Hang on. Now let me get back where I was. I lost my place. Because see, once you go into your PowerPoint, I don't know if you've noticed it. Once I'm live and I have my big screen, I lose my Zoom capabilities, so I can't share. So what you do is this. You get it all ready, you right click, you go to screen, then you go down to show taskbar. Now I've got my taskbar. Now I can share screen. And voila, no more cumbersomeness.
What are you right clicking on?
I'm right clicking on my mouse on the screen, on the PowerPoint screen. So you get it all up, you show slides, begin presentation. Now I'm using PowerPoint. It might be different on a Mac or something else, but it's, I believe, the same concept. So you get it up. When you get it up, you lose your Zoom control. You don't see it. So how do you stop share? You've got the big screen. You know what I'm talking about, Sherry? Right? So now you right click on that Zoom, you get a little menu and you go to screen and then you go to taskbar, show taskbar. Boom, you get your Zoom taskbar up and you can share now. And now you come in without all this cumberness.
That's awesome.
That's $1 million trillion idea I just learned this weekend. Yes.
I'm still slightly confused. You're right clicking on the PowerPoint screen?
Yes.
The PowerPoint's up and you're on, you have your mouse on the screen. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And then you go to screen, then you go to taskbar.
So you can set it all up before you share screen. I love it.
Yeah. That's $1 million trillion idea. I'm so thrilled. And you know who taught that to me? Daniela, this last week. And I was like, what? You know, you're crazy. That's crazy. I've never even thought of doing a right click and seeing what was there. So that's $1 million idea. Everybody's clear in what I just did, right? Okay. Lawrence, do you have that?
You put it up and then you right click it, put up the PowerPoint and then right click and then that.
Why don't you try it? Get your somebody get their PowerPoint up and all ready to go. The best way to do it is to actually do it. And I know Sherry has a PowerPoint. Who else has a PowerPoint?
I don't have a PowerPoint on here.
Can you do that for a document also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Anything. Video, PDF.
So what does it do? It just has it all ready to go, and that's the hack. I mean, it so that you don't have to fuss with it while you're on. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody try it.
I have my screen with oh, okay. Now I got that.
Okay.
Not working.
But you're not ready yet. All right. So on this screen, right, you're going to go to show. You're going to go to show. You're going to get it all ready. And then you're not going to see any Zoom taskbar. That's when you right click. Go to screen, go to show taskbar. And your Zoom will come up and then bam, you'll share.
Where is show taskbar? I'm a little lost.
Once you have it up, Catherine, once it's all up, like ready to go, and you don't see a taskbar anymore, that's when you hit the mouse on the right side, right click. You should see the word screen. Then you have a taskbar, show taskbar. It's a little pop-up. Now,
I think I'm missing a step.
I can't speak for Macs. If you're on a Mac. Are you on a Mac, Catherine?
No, I'm on a
All right.
PC.
So there's only 3 steps, so it's hard to miss. You have it up, right? You hit the right click.
Somehow I closed it out, so let me find it again.
Okay, well, it should be in the back of your screen, your PowerPoint.
No, that's what I mean.
You have a Mac and it doesn't work, Sherry? I bet there's a way to get the taskbar back even on a Mac. I just don't know what it is.
The PowerPoint I have to have open on the screen, right?
Well, yeah, that's ideally what you want, because otherwise we'll see you go and start my PowerPoint, and that's the cumbersomeness that I was showing everybody for the last 4 months.
Right. So I have that, but somehow I lost a step when I was right clicking.
Now, can you see a taskbar at all?
My taskbar is open, yes. But in Zoom or in the PowerPoint?
Okay, you shouldn't see a taskbar. Okay, so see, like, let's go with Lindy. All right, go to, so Lindy, see how it says go slideshow? Right, go to slideshow like you're doing it.
Go to slideshow, got it.
All this cumbersome and go to the beginning.
Go to the beginning. I have 2 things showing, okay.
Okay, slideshow, then it should say from the beginning.
Slideshow, add or remove button. Well, that's not good.
I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, me either. First techie. Technology is not my gift, but I will master it. Everything's weird. Don't use me as the model.
I actually switched from Keynote to PowerPoint. To PowerPoint, yes. So you start the presentation, then you click go to screen, use slideshow, swap displays, screen.
Ladies, we can do that, but that's cumbersome.
Okay, there's a faster way. Okay.
I'm showing you the faster way.
I'm trying to do the steps.
Somebody get their PowerPoint up. Let's stop this screen share.
I do. I've got mine ready to go. I'm in presentation mode.
Okay. Now, do you see your taskbar?
Nope.
Good. Okay, I'm good. Okay, everybody stop sharing. We're only going to have Sherry share. Okay, now she doesn't see her taskbar for Zoom, so she can't come in and share, right? Right, Sherry?
Right.
Now you're on your presentation, hit the right click bar, right click, you get a little pop-up menu.
Yep.
Arrow down till you see the word screen.
Yes.
Then arrow down till you see show taskbar.
All I have is black screen, white screen.
Yeah.
You should have one more.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I have screen. See, I have black screen, white screen, and then show taskbar. Oh boy. Well, that won't work if you don't have that. I'm sorry.
It's probably because I have a Mac.
You're all excited. Well, there's got to be another way too, but that's that anyway. Sorry if you don't have that taskbar. I don't know why. If it's the computer, if it's a version, not the latest version of Windows, it could be any of those technological things. So you need to talk to a geek.
Yep. I have one for a son.
Good, good. He'll know. He'll know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I'm hungry. It's my lunchtime. It's almost 1 o'clock. So I think we've covered everything. Does anybody have any other questions before we end today?
Thank you.
This was great. Thank you.
Great.
All right, you're welcome. And
so much.
We will see you next Saturday on August.
And remember Bernie's service.
Yes,
You have the link. So.
What?
Okay, thanks.
Oh,
My blessings to Bernie and everyone.
all right. Yeah, don't forget, if you want to save the chat, you just click on the 3 dots and go ahead and save the chat before I end the meeting. Otherwise, once it's ended, you can't get to it.
Will you send us the recording? How do we get this recording?
Well, I will send you a link as soon as it processes and I send it back up. So maybe tomorrow. Yeah, but you'll have it. Absolutely. So,
Thank you, Arby.
so thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Nice to see you all again.
Have a good week, everyone.
Serving you today. All right.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Happy Zooming.
Bye.
Over the years,